I like something Les Brown said once. He said, there are losers and there are people who haven't learned how to win. My question to you is this: which one are you? Are you a loser or are you still learning how to win? If you're a loser, it doesn't mean that you're less than. It could mean that you've gotten really good at quitting. It could mean that you've gotten really comfortable ending your race before the finish line. You have your reasons for not finishing, and I've had mine too. But right here, right now, the question is, do you want to win? I know you're going to say yes, because most people want just that. They want to win. And if you're like me, you're still learning how to win. So when the losses start piling up, the natural inclination is to say, it's too hard. I can't do this. I quit. It's a natural urge to want to give up and to walk away. I get it. Nobody wants to be committed to something they're losing at, to an area that's defeating them. Nobody wants that. But we still want to win. But the strange thing about winning is that sometimes it looks like losing. It looks like frustration. It looks like anger. It feels like betrayal. It's so bizarre that sometimes winning can even feel like depression. This may sound strange to you, and that's because you're still learning how to win. You're still learning that winning is a process. Winning is not the suspense and the magic of Game 7. It's not even the highs and lows of the season. It's the sweat, the tears, the anxiety, and the mixed pains of each player on that court from the moment all those years ago they decided they wanted to be a ball player. It's the pain, but it's also the joy. Winning is about the lows, and it's also about the highs. Winning is a process. So why can't you win? I've told you that winning is hard, but you knew that. You knew that. I've told you that sometimes winning looks strange, but you suspected that. I've even told you that winning is a process, but you're figuring that one out already. So let me say what I came here to say. It's something Eric Thomas said. Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. Everybody wants to be a beast. Everybody wants to be a winner until it's time to do what winners do. Eric Thomas, E.T., this guy is a winner. His entire being roars, I came here to win, period. No excuses, no compromise, no settlement. I came for the win. Now, I know there are people out there who are just as driven and just as radical in their belief about winning as he is. But when E.T. opens his mouth and says, this is where I'm going, watch out, because you're not running for gold anymore. You're running for silver. But let me tell you the truth. You do know how to win. You know everything it takes to win. You've heard it all before. You've seen it before. Some of you have lived with it before. I don't really have anything to add to your list of what it takes to win. Neither does Tony Robbins, Les Brown, or anyone else out there. This is why I said watch out. Watch out for E.T. Eric Thomas may not have anything new to tell you about winning, but he always has something new to show you about winning. I've never seen anyone deliver themselves with as much heart as E.T. does. I dare you not to be moved when you hear this man talk. I dare you. I don't mean get emotional. I mean move. You hear him speaking and that energy hits you. And you can't stay still. You want to get up, you want to do something, you want to do anything. It's not really what he says. It's how it hits you. No filters, no sugarcoating, no gloves, bare knuckle. And we need that sometimes. It doesn't matter how good we are. Sometimes we dance around our issues. We don't get to it. A friend of mine who hadn't spoken to her mother in 7 years because of some bad rubbish that made her feel slighted and resentful called me one day. She said, last night I spoke with my mother for 2 hours. I said, really? What happened? What changed? She said that she was reading an essay by one of her students. And there was a quote in there by some guy called Eric Thomas that said, I'm not minimizing your problems, but I'm saying if life knocked you down 1 year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and you're still on the ground, we've got a problem. I said, really? She said, yeah. She said, I realized that it was bad enough that I was still on the ground after 7 years, but I was on the ground and still in the same spot. After 7 years, I could have at least rolled to a different place on the ground. She'd had enough. Something about those words got into her, and she knew that she had to do something. What I'm trying to help you see is that Eric Thomas's gift isn't his ability to speak or to persuade you. His gift is his ability to open his heart and to use it to expand his passion. He's got heart. We've all heard that before. When someone is deliberately exuding purpose and passion unapologetically, we say they've got heart. But what does that mean? What does that exactly mean? When people say you've got heart, they're often responding to something external about you. But what they're observing externally is evidence of something profound that's happening internally. Internally, your heart is open. That means that you've deliberately gone out of your mind and gotten into your feelings. You've gotten into your feelings. This means that you've put ego aside. And for most of us, ego looks like pride. It looks like disappointment, fear. It looks like could have beens and should have beens. If you can do that, if you can intentionally find that quiet and calm space inside of you, what will happen next will surprise you. You discover that you have access to an inner technology, a different sort of guidance. People have called it the inner voice, and most of us know it as intuition. I'm talking about heart coherence. I'm not speaking poetically when I talk about heart. This isn't wishful thinking or beautiful sounding nonsense. I'm talking about energetics. I'm talking about what scientists at places like HeartMath Institute have been studying for decades. I'm talking about the information people like Greg Braden and Dr. Joe Dispenza have been empowering people with for years. You see, the least of what the heart does is pump blood. Most of you don't realize that your heart is surrounded by a field of measurable electrical and magnetic energy. A field of energy that extends beyond your heart and into the physical world. It may actually reach out for miles. You know the benefits of being able to tap into your mind. But the energetic field that surrounds your brain is tiny compared to the one that surrounds your heart. So when you hear people talking about the heart mind, you should know that they're talking about something even more powerful than the mind. When you hear them talking about coherence, they're talking about the quality of the signal that the heart mind is sending to the local everyday mind. When you hear heart, I want you to think of Eric Thomas, because that's what he does so well. His heart is open. He's tapped into a steady stream of intuitive information and suggestion. He's in sync. So when you hear him, he's out of his mind, so it doesn't sound like persuasion. He's into his heart, so it feels like infection. It gets into you because he's connecting to your heart field. That's why you feel like you've got to move and that you've got to do something. He's bringing his heart space into your world. Let me put it like this. You're riding his Wi-Fi signal, so you feel that energy. You don't feel it in your head, you feel it in your heart. You see, I know I've lost some people. Some people aren't open to this sort of reality, this sort of understanding. Some people refuse to accept or even try to make sense of a reality beyond what they can see. These are the same people complaining that they can't win. These are some of the same people desperate for something new, anything new from life. Well, I came to tell you that there's an inner game to play, and the reason you're not winning is that you're not playing the game. You want to keep playing the same game. You don't want to start, or if you start, you stop. Yes, it's hard. It's difficult to get out of your mind and into your heart. It's difficult to let life go, to give up anger, to give up resentment and hate. It feels impossible to let go of the pain of where you came from and of the trauma of what happened to you. I know, believe me, I know. But I know that you want to win. I know you want to be a beast. Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. E.T.'s right. Doing what beasts do is hard, but it's necessary. I'm thinking of something the poet Aeschylus wrote. Even in our sleep, pain which cannot beget falls drop by drop upon the heart, until in our own despair, against our will, comes wisdom through the awful grace of God. He's talking about pain. Pain opens up the heart. That's something Eric Thomas knows all about. You can win, but it's a heart thing. And there's some pain involved. My name is Andrew, and I'm the motivator.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you've ever wanted, one moment, would you capture it or just let it slip away?